have a
Water Elemental. Welcome back to Heroes and Whiskey. We are 3D printing our way through the D&D 5e Monster Manual, and today we are printing monster number 82, the Water Elemental. We have one last elemental to print up before we can move back to solid objects. In the Air Elemental episode, we decided to purchase this elemental set from Bite the Bullet, so let's print up the Water Elemental and wash our hands of this family of monsters. I love how the Monster Manual describes the Water Elemental as being able to fill a creature's lungs as easily as smothering flame. I think the Water Elemental would probably be my most feared in this family. Just the idea that once it gets a hold of you, it can force itself into your lungs is terrifying to me. In the past few episodes, we've been using ChatGPT to write encounter descriptions for our monsters, which is down in the description if you want to copy it. And so let's turn it over to the fake British guy to read.
Rising up out of the pool before you is a fluid and ever-changing creature, composed entirely of water, often forming into a swirling, wave-like mass with a vaguely humanoid shape. Beneath the moonlit sky along the shores of an ancient lake, it moves with the rhythm of the tides, its form shimmering like a mirage made real, an embodiment of the ocean's depths. It glides effortlessly, its watery body reflecting the celestial dance of stars and moon, a spectral ballet of the aquatic whirl. Sensing your party's approach, it gathers its vast liquid form, swirling into a towering wave, ready to crash down with the force of a tempest.
As we saw with the other three elementals, this whole set comes on medium bases, even though they're supposed to be large monsters, but it creates this really dynamic presentation where the elemental is emerging up out of nothing, and I really like that. Water is probably the most difficult thing to sculpt realistically in 3D, especially water that has a humanoid form, but I think Bite the Bullet did a really good job here. It feels like waves, but it also has some really aggressive characteristics. The fingertips are sharp, and it has the slightest hint of a face, which I'll show you in a second. In terms of how it printed fantastic. The body and the base are all one piece, and the arms are separate, and it all went together pretty seamlessly. Here you can see the face, which could maybe stand to be a little further off the ground for human interaction. I printed it solid, so it does have a good weight to it, but it's really well balanced, even given the dynamic pose, so overall it is a successful print. In terms of size, as I said with all of the other elementals, I think they could all stand to be about 10% bigger. This one especially is bent over in kind of a unique way, and it puts the face just at about 4 feet off the ground. So I think if it was maybe a little bit larger and the face was at kind of eye level for a 6-foot figure, it would be really dominating. In terms of resources, we accounted for the cost in the last episode, and we printed it alongside the others, so we are still at $802 and 36 plus days of total print time. This has been a great set of elementals from Bite the Bullet. They printed almost flawlessly, they went together flawlessly, they look like they all go together, so this is a really great set from Bite the Bullet. Before we move on, we finally have one last dragon to print. So next up, we get the Cold Shoulder from the Icy White Dragon.